Something that really sucks about being neurodivergent is that we learn often through error. We go into social situations being our authentic neurodivergent selves. We cross personal boundaries with invasive questions. We make observations about people and their appearances without realizing how it might impact them. We info dump with disregard to other people's interests in what we're sharing. We are overly direct, sometimes to the point of being callous. And then the other person has an adverse reaction because we've disregarded a neurotypical social norm, and they get angry and upset. They lash out, they're critical, they're judgmental. They look at us like there's something wrong with us, and we interpret it as being the fact, right, of the situation, is that we made this mistake, and the reason we made this mistake is because there's something wrong with us. We're inherently defective or inferior. It's not that we just operate communication-wise, cognitively differently to neurotypicals. We are inherently broken and wrong for operating this way. And the expectation is that we will conform to their norms, even though these norms are never communicated explicitly until after the fact. Nobody goes out of the way to teach us at school, like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Very few educational systems actually incorporate this kind of stuff because it's assumed that we'll either know it intuitively or that we'll read it from a social situation. And some of us generally are just oblivious. We have no idea that this is the norm and that this is expected of us unless it is communicated explicitly. And if the only explicit communication we're getting is, again, after the fact, and it's critical and judgmental, it's really hard to bear that, because it feels like we willfully made a mistake, even though we know we didn't. When other people project malicious intentions on us, it inflicts an injury. It leaves us feeling like we must have done something wrong because other people perceive it that way, and then we feel very embarrassed about it and shame-ridden. And it's so demoralizing to go into the world and fear constantly that you're going to put your foot wrong and that you're going to get in trouble because you said or did the wrong thing. And you never know that that's going to come, and that's the reason a lot of us experience social anxiety, is we go into the world and we anticipate that something catastrophic is going to happen socially if we go out there, so we avoid. We want to do right in social situations. We don't want to hurt other people's feelings. We want to be socially successful. And we get very little guidance except when we make mistakes and we receive criticism and judgment. And again, this leaves us very demoralized and reluctant to engage in social interactions. We're so fearful of making mistakes that we learn to stop trying. And when we stop trying, we stop learning, we stop growing. We don't get the opportunities to practice these skills. And as a result, we end up feeling like it's a hopeless case. It's a cycle of negative criticism happens, and then we withdraw, and because we withdraw, we don't get practice, and because we don't get practice, maybe we don't get as conversant in the language of neurotypicals as we might need to be socially successful, and the loop just repeats. And rightfully so, many people become very disheartened and in some ways angry at neurotypicals because they hold the keys to their exclusive club. They dictate the rules, but they never give us the benefit of the doubt or step up to kind of assist us in getting through that door, being able to be successful in their social club or their interactions. And we end up walking away feeling just hopeless. Have you struggled in social situations like the ones I've described? Have you made these social errors? And has it been demoralizing to just learn through these mistakes and the judgment that results? What has been your experience? I would love to hear from you.